not my normal time, but I did get my Your Day to Shine kit, so I wanted to put that together. Let me get in here and to share, copy link. I'll put that to my Facebook page real quick. It'll be so much easier once I upgrade the equipment and everything. So let's go to Facebook and we'll add it in there. It's just an extra post during the month. I try to get the kits because I really like their value. Let's get this one closed and down with that and upload that. There we go. I really like the value of these kits, especially if you're on the road a lot or you don't have a big budget or, and you could keep going with lots and lots of ors. This one is, I want to say like $12, $12 to $14 is the range for this month. I have both kits. The other one I'm going to give to my daughter because I think it'll be really cool. We'll make them together. They're going to be here this weekend for St. Patrick's Day. And then Easter is going to be at my daughter's house, which me and my husband can't go because I can't travel. So you do get, what is that, 6 A2 envelopes or note card envelopes, and then you get 3 mini envelopes with this. You get everything that you need, but I'm going to be ripping it up. I'm going to be tearing it up. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So you get sentiments. You get some florals. Some more sentiments. I was going to be like, aha. More card bases, and then of course our mini card bases, which we're going to turn into regular cards. Don't worry about that. So we're going to edit the whole thing. So while they give us instructions, we're not using them, but we will save them though. We'll put them in our box over here because I like to mix and match. I don't like everything to be the same. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim these pieces. So I'm going to get my envelopes out of the way. I'm going to get my trimmer down. And then I'm going to put you guys up in the cheap seat. Cheap seats, I guess is what I call it. Oh, and I didn't plug that light in again. Hang on while I flip ya. There we go. I had my phone plugged in because I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to go live or not today. There we go. Should be working just fine. You can see everything. So lots and lots of lots and lots of layers for this. Wow, you really can't see anything over here. Let's move my light a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to cut this side off, and we'll be able to use that as a layer. So we're just going to line that up with the halfway, the 4 1/4 mark. 4 1/4 mark is right there. And then I really like these strips, so we're going to cut those. And they may not be perfect. I'm just going to warn you right now. They may not be perfect, but that's okay. We're not working with perfect. We're working with fun. And let's shift that a little bit. Because while I like the pattern in the background, I don't think it's as cool as the stripes are. You know what? I'm just going to cut these. I'm going to cut these out myself. So let's trim them. Let's trim each of the pages, and then we will cut them out myself. So 1 1/4. So I think it'd be a little bit quicker than using the trimmer to cut these out. So we'll put those over there. And then we're going to cut these off as well. And we're going to go 4 1/4. Not 1 1/4. 4 1/4. 4 1/4. And I forgot to go to back to YouTube on my other page. Gotta catch up. Oh, I don't know what I just did there, but whatever I did, it ain't working. Oh, my goodness, Lord. Lord have mercy. Okay, we're just going to catch that up to where we're at. Got it all nicely lined up, and we're going to trim that. I think I got most of them trimmed. Went through most of this. And then 4 1/4 again. And then we're going to trim through this. I got a little odd trim on here, so I'm going to trim this to 4 inches so I can use it behind a layer. And then we're going to trim 1/4 off the other way. So we're going to go 5 1/4 on this one. There we go. So we'll have some fun with that. And like I said, it doesn't matter if anybody's watching or they're not watching. We're going to trim these down to 5 1/4 as well. Am I at the 5 1/4? I can't tell. I'm blind. I'm blind. And 4 inches. I think we're going to go on the cut side instead of the not cut side. I can't tell. I have to lift it up. No, that was the cut side. I had it right. Yeah. We want the not cut side to cut. So we've got those. So we've got it at 5 1/4 by 4 for nice layer. And I'll bring up my own cardstock and everything else. And then these little ones here, I'm just going to go half. So that would be at 3. Right there. Let's get them all lined up and everything else. 3 inches right there. So we've got the first 2 done, and the last one needs to be done still. 3 inches again. Cut those up. We'll have all of our pieces right there. And then for these, like I said, it's much easier for me to cut by hand. I wish I had large scissors because they would be perfect, but they're not going to be. As you can see here, even with the trimmer, I didn't cut perfect, so I'm just going to go ahead and get in and start cutting. Are they going to be perfect? No. And you can see here they're kind of connected, so I'm just going to go, and we're only going to use 2 of these from each one. I might cut that other one skinnier, is what I might do. So I'm going to cut them apart, and then I'm going to... Actually, my guillotine would work really good on this. I'm going to get my guillotine. That'll work a little bit better than... Because I can see the guillotine's blade a little bit better than I can the trimmer. So we're just going to take my guillotine out and work with that. I think it'll be a little faster too. I know you guys aren't worried about fastness or anything like that. You just want to see it, you know, look nice. Line it up with the blade, line it up with the blade. Ah, pretty good. And then we're going to go to the other side. A little further out. Line that one up. And then I think we're going to use the outside ones rather than the inside ones. Because they just look a little bit more straight. Okay. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect at all because I can't cut perfect. But we'll get it pretty good. So we'll get rid of these offcuts as much as possible. And this one has a little bit of pink up there at the top, so I'm just going to trim it to 1 1/4 inches. And that's what each of them will be, is 1.25 inches wide. I'll try to get them 1.25 inches wide. So we'll go with this one next. Got a little bit of an offcut at the top there. So we'll make them nice and straight. I know they're set a little crooked so that they can be decorative and everything else, but if you're like me, I prefer straight over crooked. So we'll go at 1.25 inches again. And then we've got the top and bottom. So I'm just going to cut that straight, as straight can be. There we go. And if it's not the same height, it's fine. I can trim them all to be the same height later. So we're going to trim that one. And that one. I don't think we'll do all 3 of these, but I still got one put together, and I'm going to probably cut that in half to give myself some other ideas. And then 1.25 inches wide. And we want to get that bottom nice and straight. We're going at about 4 inches. Just about. Nothing's going to be perfect, like I said. Doesn't have to be. We're going to push those ones over here, because they're not the same size in the packaging. You can clearly see the middle one is shorter. So if you look at these, the middle one is shorter than the other 2. So that's what I'm going with. There we go. And 2 more pieces to go. We're going to leave the other one alone, but we're going to add it as a layer. We're going to cut it a little bit straighter and get it as a layer. There we go. And a bit more right there. We'll come down to this other side. Now, I'm just moving it. I'm putting it on a straight edge on the grid. So no matter where I'm at, I'm going to have a straight edge. And then about 1 inch. I think it's about 1 inch, actually. Not 1.25 inches. It's about 1 inch wide. So 1 more to go. And I think we'll cut this long side first. Just like so. Be really nice if I had some slimline dies, because it would be really cool to get some of the pink in the background. But it's just not. It's not going to happen. Not to say I don't like it, because I do. I really, really do like this kit. I know I'm kind of at the bottom, but I'm like inches away from it. And then this one we're going to cut down to be like 4 or 5 by 3. Let's see, what do we want to do with it? Yeah, so I think if I cut off the uneven side on that side and get the uneven side on this side, we'll be at about 3.5. You'll still see a little bit of that pink in the background. So 3.5 will give us, we're going to go at about 5 1/8 at the bottom, and then I'm going to flip it around and actually go to 5. And that'll take out quite a bit off the top. But we still get to see the design, that lovely color in the background and everything else. So we're going to set these aside because I want to pop some of these up. Not going to be making a bunch of cards. I'll be making a few. Okay, and then for our green ones, I'm just going to go ahead and cut the edges off of this and pop that up. Just making sure I'm on a line over here. I'm just going to push it up to the front edge here. So I've got it perfect. That's why sometimes having a guillotine's better than having a trimmer, because you can move a little bit quicker. Oh, I totally mucked that one up. There we go. And I did it the same on the other side too. There we go. So those are just going to be layers. We're going to start with the longest layer. And just work our way around it. And again, this one right here, just by itself with a nice sentiment, would be perfect as just a regular go-to card, you know. I think it would be beautiful. My blade is a little dull from all the cutting over the years, but I think we can get there. Trying to not get any extra green on top of it, but it'll be fine. This is what I like to call one of those, it takes an hour to build this, when the kit was already built for you. But, you know, sometimes you got to change it. Sometimes you just got to change it. Okay, a little bit further out. There we go. I think this will probably be the best one right out the gate that's cut the best. There we go. Not too much green left on that. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. So that gives me pop-up. This gives me pop-up. Oh, I didn't do the blue. Sorry. I still need to do the blue. So we're just going to make these a little bit smaller so that we can layer them. So for this, we just need to cut one edge on each side. So we're going to go ahead and take a quarter off. So we'll have 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And that's what we should have on these. So there's one. Done. And 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And just a little pop-up area on a regular card. So we'll layer the 2 blues together. So we still have that. And then 2 3/4. There we go. So we'll still have them. Everything should still fit. I'll put that back where it belongs. So before I do anything else, I'm just going to go ahead and take everything out so that you guys can see. We'll take everything out of the packaging and we will put like items together. That way we can grab whatever makes us happy along the way. Okay. So it's your day. So we've got that one, and then we've got hello right here, and then happy birthday right here. And if you hold them together, you can get them all out at the same time. If you don't like the little bumps on the side from being connected, just get a pair of scissors and trim those really quick. We're going to move those out of the way. Those are, the rest of them are going to go in the kit. Then we have some vellum pieces. We have leaves. Right here we have leaves. Oh, that's more delicate than I thought. Okay, I'm going to save the leaves for last. We'll pop out the 3 banners here. The best part about these kits is you don't have to buy anything extra. I mean, if you want to change them up, yeah, you need some scissors, trimmer, A little bit of extra adhesive here or there, but mostly everything's in the kit that you need, unless you want to change them, like I said. We're going to be adding all of these to 110-pound white card bases. So just going to make sure we can get everything out without ripping anything. I don't want to rip anything. And the leaves are directional. They do have a left and a right. So when you pull these out, put them in a pile and then go back and divide them up left to right. Because you got some of the big leaves that go to the left and some of them that go to the right. Let me see if I can show you in here. So on this one, the leaf is going to the left. I'm going to put it on this blue paper right here. And then on this one, the big leaf is going to the right. It's exactly the same design, only flipped. Okay, so we're going to put all of these right here. Okay, and then we've got 3 designs here, which I think we need Friend, which is right here. We got Friend and then Shine. And of course, if you speak German or French or Dutch, you'll have options on there as well. Or if you know somebody who speaks German, French, or Dutch, you got options. Again, that goes back into my card, into my box that I got everything. We've got our, almost like a flower pot right there. I'm going to put the things that I know that go together. I'm going to put them together or near each other. So we've got that one. And I believe this one goes with this one as well. Kind of goes like that. Doesn't mean I'm going to use it like that. Just means it goes together. We've got some more banners. We're going to put those up here. Some little purple banners. I didn't realize I might be off screen. And I was off screen. Sorry about that. Purple banners. We've got another floral. Little small floral. Love this one. Love the Calypso Coral and the Daffodil Delight. And again, the old olive on that. It's just gorgeous. Okay, so we've got everything cut out that we need. We're going to go ahead and pull out the accessories. If I can get the bag open. So in here, we've got some iridescent gems. We've got our sticky things, which we're not going to use, and then some foam squares, which I already have one open, so we're going to save that as well. So we'll save those for later. So the first thing I'm thinking of is I'm going to put all of my base or my layers together, and then I'm going to come back to what I want to add on to it next. So I'm going to get all that out of the way. It's all messed up and everything else. So let's add some layers to these. Let's do that first. Oh, I pulled the one off another one. There it is. There it is. Okay. And then we're just going to layer it right on top of the other one. We've got a small reveal all the way around. There we go. I'm going to grab that one that I ripped open before. We're going to do another one. And then we're going to add the foam to the other one before we move on. So there we go. That looks pretty good. It's probably crooked. Like I said, I can't tell worth nothing. And I might have pieces left over to make additional cards here. That looks about right. Okay. So the only part about the instructions that I want to look at is actually the cover, because I want to see what they added to what. So let me bring that back out, because then at least you know size-wise what can fit where. That's the only thing I'm ever going to need this for. So you can see here that it's got the happy birthday. It's got the little clear banner with the vellum. It's got the small floral, the large Calypso coral floral, and that right there. So do I still want to do that? No, I don't want to do that. So let's grab our bases. Let me grab my card bases here. I gotta grab enough to do 9 cards. I don't think I have enough for 9. Well, what do we got? We got 2, 4, 6, 8, and then we'll do 1 sideways. It'll give us options to fold it the other way. Okay, so we'll save that. So for this, I just want to add it on. I'm just going to add a little bit of my runner on there. I'm going to get my... This makes it so much more. I'm actually going to put it towards the bottom since I made that piece uneven. Totally uneven. It's so skinny at the bottom. So, going to do that. I do want the flower that goes with this. Where'd my stuff go? So we're going to add 2 foam squares to this. That's it. Just 2. And that's the nice thing. Even though it's a kit, even though it's designed for you, you do not have to do it the way it's designed. That's just an idea. So it gave you that little happy birthday. So we're going to add on the happy birthday as well. We're going to use our minis for that. I just got brand new minis, so let me get my pokey tool out. My circa 2000 and whenever pokey tool out. We'll add this to that. They're so nice and skinny. I love them. So skinny. Oh, I grabbed it with me. And then we're going to come up and grab one more right there. And I think because I did it wrong down there, I'm just going to bring my happy birthday. I think I can bring it. Yeah, I'm going to bring it down a little bit so it doesn't make it look like I messed up the bottom so much. Let me see if it's crooked. Of course it's crooked. I'm crooked. I'm so crooked. I want to leave just a little bit of the bottom revealed, but not a lot. There we go. Just like that. Real simple. Doesn't need any flashy anything else. Real super simple, right? Okay, well, then we come to the other one, the next one. We'll go ahead and add our stuff to this. I think I did that one pretty much the same as the last one. Too much one end, not enough the other. So with this one, Who's got the little purple banner? Okay, so this time I'm going to add the purple banner to this one. So we're just going to add a little bit of runner. Just a little bit of runner right in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and add that the happy birthday to the little purple banner. But instead of the big flower, we're just going to use one of the small flowers. Okay. So real simple like this. So I'm going to add some runner to here. I'm going to add my flower right off to the side, just a little bit like that. And it's just going to be a very simple happy birthday card. Nothing crazy. Okay. So the third one, I'm going to use more than one big flower. I'm going to use more than one big flower. Just kind of make sure I'm somewhere sane. I'm going to use two of the flowers together, but I'm going to cut one up. So I'm going to show you how I do that. Okay, so I'm just going to have this kind of off to the side here. I think that's cool. Scissors. I know I had them up here. Where'd they go? Always disappearing. Scissors are always disappearing. Make sure my volume's all the way up. So I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to fussy cut on the edge of the floral. I am not cutting the entire floral out. I'm just going to raise the leaves a little bit. So we're going to go down and kind of follow where it would be and come up and around. There we go. Okay. So we're going to get 2 additional foam squares, 1 and 2, and then we're going to line our floral back up. We're just giving it a little lift, that's all. So which way is which? This way. So I'm going to line it up at the bottom here, and then on the side, and then go all the way around. And so we've got a little lift. And from here you can't tell, but you go sideways and you're like, oh, okay, that looks cool. So then we've got our extra little leaves. I'm going to glue these down underneath to give just a little more zhuzh to this. Just a little bit more zhuzh. My glue bottle would work. And I need my tweezers. And I'm just going to come back underneath. A little bit more zhuzh. Doesn't need a lot. I think it looks really pretty by itself. And then we're going to take the other one, we're going to come up around the bottom here and layer that underneath the other leaves. We're still in that little area. So I want to pull it out just a little bit. There we go. We're still in the same little area. Our birthday is going to be a little bit different. Just a little bit different. It's not going to be hugely different. So we're going to grab our little flower. We're just going to add a little bit of runner. And I'm just going to have it tucking. Just a little tuck. So because we already used the other stuff on that one, I'm also going to go ahead and come maybe underneath a layer over here and bring this one over here. So it kind of breaks up that blue on blue. So we've got a little one coming right here. So then we've got our birthday and our banner. And I have 2 banners left. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this together to make them longer. So I'm just going to grab the middle. And I'm going to make it a little bit longer together. Yeah, you'll still be able to see it a little bit, but not as much. Okay, and then we're going to grab our itty bitty foam squares. We're going to grab a few of these and place it on the bottom of our banner. Just want to eyeball the size. Hey, I did pretty good. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. And then right here, and then we'll get one more. Oh, these are tiny. I love it. Okay. So we'll take the backers off of this one and then layer it up. And we'll do, again, similar to what we did in the first one. We're just going to layer this up like so. And I think a little runner. We don't need anything else. We're just going to do a little runner. And we're going to have this down here on the bottom. So there we go. Now, do I still have lots of space on it? Yeah, I get to see that pretty pattern too. So, again, adjusting for the different things. We didn't use the banner that went in this at all. This is the little banner that was supposed to go behind stuff. So, I mean, you still have room where you could tuck it behind stuff. You know, but I don't feel like I need it. I think it's okay. This one, you could probably go back and say, okay, well, I'm just going to add this. Actually, that doesn't look half bad. I'm going to trim this across the bottom a little bit. You know what? Actually, I'm just going to fold it. I'm going to fold that on itself. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue at the bottom here, just to kind of pinch itself together and keep itself closed. I don't want it opening. And then we're just going to add a little bit of glue behind it, right here in the bottom. We're going to lift that up and put it right down there. It has a couple more layers, and apparently I didn't put enough adhesive or whatever I did on this, so I'm going to add a little bit more right there and a little bit more behind. Apparently I didn't add enough, and I think that's a good distinction between everything that you've got here. There we go. So 3 alternative cards to the one. So I think that looks cool. Okay, let's keep going. So let's get everything. Like I said, I'm just working from a pile. I'm looking at what belongs on a card, and then I can decide whether or not I actually want it to belong on a card or if it's just something I'm gonna save for later. Simple. Okay, so let's do the layered look first. And it doesn't mean you can't reuse those envelopes that you have. You just need to go ahead and look at how you're going to do it. So I'm going to pop one up, and the other two I'm going to lay flat. So I'm going to work on the flat ones first. So there's one finished, ready to go on a layer. We'll set that one there. We'll grab our first one, and we're just going to layer it right back up the way it was before. There we go. One done. Ready to rock and roll. Next one. We're going to go ahead and eyeball it a little bit better than I did the last time, because I noticed it was a little crooked on that one. So there we go. So this one we want to pop up. And I have a tendency to use more when I'm working with something like this. I like my cards not to droop. You guys know that. If you've been watching me on Facebook for a really long time, you know I don't like my cards to droop. But that doesn't mean I need to have a foam square covering every inch. You can skip around. Just give yourself enough space and you'll have plenty. So let's go ahead and get these all off. Oh, I have to add one more to the top. My bad. My bad. I still need one right here. The two in the middle are just kind of supported a little bit more. You do not have to add this much, but if you want to, that's completely all right with me. We're going to add that right there. That looks pretty good. So you can see it just lifts it a little bit, and it makes a difference than it being... This looks very much like the original card, but it does have a little bit of texture in between rather than being laid flat. So for this one, For these ones, they were all supposed to be sideways. So we're going to do this one sideways, just like it is. We're going to do some runner, and the other ones I'm going to make tall so we can change that design a little bit. So we're going to make this one pretty much like it says. We're going to do a little bit of zhuzhing, but not by much. There we go. Okay. So what they want us to use, I'm just going to pull everything out so you can kind of see. They want us to use these banners. There's another one. They want us to use the little butterflies. So we'll put those out there. We're also going to be using the It's Your Day to Shine. It's your day. So we need those out there. It's your day. And then the shine. So we've got friend and we've got shine. So we're going to get the shine out over here. And then we still have those two banners that didn't get used, two tags that didn't get used with the other one. So we're going to put that over here as well. Okay. So, oh, they want us to use these ones as well. These ones as well, these long ones. So the first thing I'm going to say is no. The second thing I'm going to say is no. So they basically want us layering it up like this. Very, sorry, the other way. Very nice and neat and everything looks great. And I'm sure whoever designed these has an incredible thought process, but doesn't always match up with ours, you know? So again, don't feel like you have to do what the instructions tell you. So I'm not going to do it like this. I'm actually going to omit this one altogether. And I am going to use the backs of those because I don't much like the yellow stripe. You can see it looks much better that way to me with the shine on it. You know, okay, but say like, I like the stripes, but I don't like the color. Change the color. Just take your pen or your marker and go right over that to change the color. You want it more blue or more green instead of the yellow. You want it more of the Calypso Coral. Use the Calypso Coral on it. Use your blends or your, forgot what the regular ones are, the markers, the regular markers, and just change it. So I'm going to use the back. And I'm going to put this on the front like this. Or maybe I'll use it in reverse. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll use it in reverse. Okay, so if you guys were here yesterday, you know my hide vellum trick. So I'm going to put a dash, a little dot here, and a little dot here. Is that going to be perfect? Are you guys going to be able to see it? Maybe a little bit, but on the most part, no. So you're going to tap it down until it becomes tacky. Once it becomes tacky, you can stop. Other dots, same thing. You're kind of spreading it out, but you're also making it tacky. So you can see the glue there. Okay. So I'm going to lay out my, oh, I got glue everywhere on my desk. Trying to keep it off of my desk. So I'm going to lay these down and I'm going to show you that you can barely see the adhesive. People like to hide vellum. Oh, I got goop on there. Piece of hard glue. So people like to say that they can't hide adhesive on vellum, okay? Well, if you're going to hide this with the word shine, understand, you could use your tiny attacher or your stapler right there. Okay, so we're going to add some full-size yeah, I think it's big enough. I think there's enough room over here to add a second one. So we're going to get all these little paper bits out of here. We're going to add this shine to here. Right on top of the vellum. And then right above it, we're supposed to have the It's Your Day. Yeah, you know. Like, okay, whatever. I've got that negative feeling when I have certain things. It's like, why does my day have to shine? Why can't my day just be okay? You know, that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, right. Okay, so I'm going to do this in a little triangle because I feel like that's more than adequate to keep it. Now, they do want it further down here. I'm going to center it. I just think that a sentiment should be centered if it's the main image. Now, we do have a butterfly. That's the only other thing we have is a butterfly. So, no. And I've seen people pop this up, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to the sentiment strip. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. And then I'm just going to put it on there right above, but a little bit of space. Just a little bit of space. And then down on the bottom, I've left room to either add this to the outside or to the inside. So on the inside of my card, I would simply add it like that. So it has something of it. But since we want it on the outside and we want it to look cool, I'm going to add a little bit of glue right in the center. And we're going to go ahead and just bend those wings out a little bit. Flop them up. Flop them up. You can do that with your fingers. You don't need a bone folder or anything else. And I think I'm just going to put the butterfly right here, right on the edge of that vellum. If you want, you can throw a little foam square underneath to pick it up. Okay. So our other one, I said I was going to put, I'm only going to do two of these. I'm going to save that other one for later. We're only going to do two of these. So I am going to go with some wonky, oh, that one's upside down. I'm going to go with some wonky things, and I'm just going to kind of make these guys work together. Okay. So something like that, a little bit of layers. And then it leaves me plenty of space to put my It's Your Time to Shine. Like so. And we can do it on a vertical like that. And again, if you're just going with the stuff that's from the kit, just like that, you've got it. If you don't want to add the other one, you're still good to go. So we need our little butterfly. And of course, I haven't added gems to any of these. I'm not going to on this round, but it's okay. People will understand. So on this one here, we're going to add some glue just to this edge right here. And we just want it long enough. I'm going to put my other piece underneath it and kind of center it. We just want glue in the space where we'll be able to hide it. Okay. So we're going to put our vellum just about here. Make sure it's nice and straight, and we're just going to push that glue into both the vellum and the cardstock. And then on our tag, we're just going to add a little bit of glue, liquid glue. We're going to cover up where we just added the glue on our vellum, just like so. And then we're going to pop up everything else. Once everything's nice and flat, you could pop up a lot and it's not going to be so horrendous or anything else like that. So we're going to save the rest of these for that other one. The video's getting a little long. That's what I'm worried about. So we're just going to add some foam squares, large and large. We're going to come off of the paper on this side and just end a little short on that one. So we go from the pink to the pink. We've got a perfect little grounding for the butterfly. I'm going to add a full-size foam square right in the center. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll up with my fingers. I'm just going to roll the wings down or up in this stance. So we're going to add our little butterfly right here. So it kind of anchors our corner. And then we're going to use some full-size fit. Oh yeah, just barely. Just barely. Just barely. One more. For our sentiment. And of course, you can cut this sentiment up and give yourself a little bit more of a graphic, grungy, mixed media look if you want to. Add a little bit of white paint to one of the bases. So we're just going to center it to the middle. We're going to center it to the full card space. So from left to right, we're going to center it and we're going to put it down. So there we go. Real simple. So this is my 2 designs. The third one I'm actually going to follow the design with. I'm just going to add a new card base. So let's add it to a card base. We're going to get our runner out and doing its thing. And then we're just going to space it as good as humanly possible. And then again, just pinch those wings up a little bit to get them lifted. So there's my 2 designs on this one. And if I could come up with a third, I would. So I'm going to go ahead and take all these pieces and I'm going to put them in the box. If I hadn't closed the box, I could put them in the box. I'm only going to do 2 cards with this one as well. So first we're going to start with that large piece I just finished with. So we're going to need a few foam squares. And we're just going to add those on here. Let's get a few more. I love to jump around and cause people havoc. It's just wonderful. Okay, so we've got this one. A little bit smaller than before, but that's okay. The first thing I thought of when I saw this design was slimline. I gotta be honest, that's the first thing I thought of. So that's why I'm kind of taking it from what it was and making it a little bit thinner, to give you an option for a slimline kind of version of the design. Okay. Second of all, we're going to be using 2 florals on this. We're not cutting anything. We might cut a little bit. We're going to be using one of the vases or bases. We've got our hello friend for our sentiment. We've got these large yellow flowers. I think these are the ones that actually go to it. These other ones were supposed to go to the other card. But like I said, I still have pieces left. So we're going to use one of those, one of these. We're going to use a large leaf that's left over. We've got a couple of the vellum leaves. We're going to use those. Hopefully we got a right and a left. And we do. And that's it for this one. So, oh, don't drop your other stuff. So that's a lot to go on a card. You're like, Eva, 2 flowers? Do you really need 2 flowers? Yes. Yes, you do. So we're going to pop up a lot. We're just probably going to go through the rest of this that I've got here on this one to finish up this card. Because this is going to be my last card, like I said. I haven't quite decided what I want to do with the other one. So we will figure it out. Who knows? I might come back for a part 2 with the leftovers. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put it off to one side because I want my stuff to drape. To drape. You see these leaves? These leaves say drape. You understand what I'm saying? Drape. And I can't drape if I don't have another large flower up there. So we're going to add just a couple. That's all we need is just a couple because we want to tuck stuff behind it. You don't want to overly add adhesive. Okay, center. I say this, I say it often to my friends and everything else. We're going to double pop this because we want one flower to stand out among them all. Way better, way cuter, double pop. Double pop it. 2, so you got 4 of them on this one. We're going to start by coming right here with our double pop. So I know you can't see it much right now, but when I add the other floral without their leaves, we're cutting the leaves off. You're not even going to see that. You know me, I love to butcher stuff. I love to take what it is and make it something different. Not always the best thing, but it works. It really, really does. So we're going to take the other one and we're going to slip it under. So we're going to slip it under so we don't see that. But at the same time, we kind of want to slip this under. You see? So we're going to glue this. Does it make it a bigger piece? Yeah, it makes it a bigger piece. But I think it's so much better because a flower like this really does deserve to be like blam. You know what I mean? It just deserves that wow factor to it. So for these, I'm going to do my old trick. I'm going to pop the top and I'm going to glue the bottom. So we're going to add foam squares to the top, dimensionals to the top, and then we're going to glue the bottom so it pops at the top, but it's adhered where it's hidden. I hope you get that. So we're just going to come along. I don't want to completely block this little stripe that's here. I like that. I like the zhuzh of it. We're going to go ahead and bring in a flower, and we're going to just make this flat, kind of like sticking out behind everything. But we want it on top of our other flower, and we just want that center peeking out. Still have a little bit of our red there. Okay, so if you're thinking card, huge, amazing, wonderful, yeah, this is the type of thing you think about. So we're going to use one of our vellums down here, and we're going to come right underneath these leaves. Layer, layer, layer. When it comes to florals, you want layers. You do not want everything flat, 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 flat. You just kind of want to create really, really gorgeous layers, I guess is the best way to put it. This card doesn't need a sentiment. This card says, wow, that's a really gorgeous card. So let's get it on our base. So we're just going to go ahead and pop it up again. We're not letting this baby go flat. Nothing on this should be flat because it's one of those cards that just needs to have wow factor. It's got wow factor in the design, in the elements on the card. And I think it's one of those that's just going to love being the center of attention. I saw this design in my head the minute I got a look at the kit, and I was just like, okay, yeah, I know exactly how I'm going to do that. It's not going to have just one flower. It can't just have one flower. And you're like, well, Eva, where do we put the sentiment and stuff? I'm like, well, I don't know. Pick a spot, you know, put it on the inside. Doesn't really matter. Just put it on the inside. I would say go ahead, and I want to show you that from the side. Look at all of that pop. That's the zhuzh. Now, from the center, take your fingers and bring it around. It is going to lift that without putting creases in it, okay? Lift and roll just on the top. This one on the outside. Same thing. We're going to take it with our fingers. We're going to grab it and we're going to roll it up. Gently, naturally, and without a lot of breakage on our paper. You see that difference? Okay, so we still have one more little lift here we can do. We're just going to lift the edge. Lift the edge just a little bit. Use the side of your finger. You kind of, let me grab a piece of paper here. I never have a piece of paper when I need one. Okay, so we're using a Post-it. So in this case here, instead of having wrinkles like it does, you can see the wrinkles there. If we simply push out and up, so we've got our fingers together like this, and we're using the fingers to push up. Just keep pushing it up. You will round that paper instead of doing, I'm going to use my bone folder for an example here. Okay. Oh, Am I dropping everything today? Yep, everything, everything. Oh, okay. So with our bone folder, a lot of the times, what happens? You got it curled, yeah, but you also have a harsh line on it. So I just want to show you that harsh line. If I do this with my thumb, yeah, it might take me a little bit longer. I might not get the super curl that I'm looking for, but look I did the same thing. And there's no harsh line at the back. It looks much more natural than if you were using a bone folder. Harsh line. You see that line right there? No harsh line. It is nice and smooth and soft. Work it with your fingers. You don't always have to grab for the bone folder. Us ladies with arthritis, that bone folder hurts. It's not pleasant. Okay? So let's get our last two pieces up here. And I'm just going to go with the friend on the bottom. And then I'm going to put my hello. Dog hair everywhere in my house. I'm going to put the hello right above the florals up here. Okay, so let's pop this up real quick. We're just going to pop it up with one. That's all it really needs. It's going to be nice in the center up here. And then our friend, same kind of thing as before. We're going to use the minis. We're just going to go ahead and plop a few of those down. The few to me is 3. I don't know what your few requirements are, but a few is 3 to me. And, okay, we're going to need 4. We definitely need a few plus a little bit. There we go. I think that's good. I love those little ones. They're so cute. And like I said, I'd love to say that I've got enough supplies to make that card all the time. And you guys know that I love my florals. So I'm going to come up and curl this up just a little bit. So we're going to put the friends on it. That's why I had to have those leaves down at the bottom, just to make it more romantic. If I want to use more leaves, you know, come up around, add a few more leaves. Let me move my hello real quick. So if I come up here and I add more of the leaves like this, right? And I put that hello on it. It just took it from, oh, wow, that's cool, to, oh my gosh, Eva, yeah. So, you know, it's all about how we put things together. A lot of people will tell you, well, you know, it doesn't matter how you put something together. I'm the first one that'll say that. It doesn't matter how you put together. Make it happy. Make yourself happy. Make yourself feel like, I really love the creation that I made. Do you got to trim this off? No, not if you're going to hand it to somebody. Put it in a 5x7 card or envelope instead. Okay, so I'm going to make one more. We are going to use the lines. We're just going to need 2. And again, I'm going to turn this into a slimline card. So we need it 2 3/4 wide. You're like, but Eva, that's not very big. I said, no, but that's big enough for a 3-inch mini slimline that I'm going to modify right now. So card base, you've got it and it's top fold. Slimlines don't have to just be one way. So we're going to take this to 3 inches and we're going to trim it up. And then don't throw these away because these can be used like on your fun folds, all of that good stuff. Okay, so don't throw away your little pieces like that. Especially if you're doing like box folds or stuff like that. Those are great for that kind of stuff. Nice and sturdy. Everything else. So let's do our slim line. Oh, I forgot to cut the top. Okay, so that is 5 1/2, so we need 5 1/4. So let's cut the top, 5 1/4, 5 1/4 instead of 5 1/2. It's a little shorter. Mini slimline is technically 3 by 6 inches. So this is a little bit shorter, but I think it still works. It still does the purpose. to change it up enough for you to go and say, oh, okay, I get it. I understand. I don't understand. You know, it's just one of those things with me where it's like, oh, I could make this way, and I could do this, and I can do that. Okay, so we've got 2 of those strips, right? So we're just going to flip those, and we're going to add a little bit of runner to them. We just need it right down the center. We don't need every single inch of the runner to, or the strip to have runner on it. Just enough to keep us in place. So you see how that one's short? So this time I'm going to go from the top down. I'm going to give it about that 1/4 inch, and I'm going to bring it down. And then we've got a little bit of spacing. Okay. So same floral, same flower. I'm just going to tilt it a little bit so everything stays on the card this time. And we're going to pop that up. Told you I'd use almost a full one. I think there was like 10 or 15 missing out of here. So we're going to go 3, less tucking. Okay. Looks like a bunny from this side. So again, like I said, we're going to turn it. Okay, but before we lay it down, I just kind of want to see where I want to put this. No, I want it up more. I want it more center. Okay, so then I'm going to come in and I'm going to add my glue, and I'm going to add my little pom-pom pieces. And I'm just going to use the hello on this because it's much smaller. It doesn't need a ton of zhuzh, as they say. So I'm mimicking the leaves that are already there. I'm just going to bring that down. Okay. So think of it as like a bridal bouquet where the florals, they're layered. Ugh, my bottle's so dirty. Okay. So our little vases here, right? I'm going to shorten this up just a little bit. A lot of it. Okay, a lot of it. I'm just going to shorten it up a little bit. We're going to add a couple of foam squares here. And remember, I didn't add a lot, so I can still pick it up. I can still pick it up. I can? I should be able to. I can. Okay, so I'm just going to add this. I should have put that on top, but that's okay. So we're going to add, oh, no. We need to make it a little bit skinnier. A little bit skinnier. So we're going to come in and we're just going to take one side off of each side. Hey, just a little bit skinnier. That's all. Like I said, modify it. And then we're going to get rid of that white bottom on the most part. There we go. A little bit skinnier. Think of hanging plant. You know, so think of a hanging plant. So there we go. It just got a little bit of that blue in the background. Not a lot, just a little bit. I feel like I need to add glue now that I picked it up and put it back down. Okay, so we've got a little bit of glue underneath there. Apparently I need to hold it so the glue stays. Okay, so we're going to add one of these tall pom-poms. But this time we're just going to glue it. We're going to glue. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue, and then we're going to slip it in between. Layer, layer, layer. Layer, layer. We've got that other bit of greenery. Got that other bit of greenery, and I think I'm just going to chop it up a little bit. We're going to chop it into 2 pieces. We're going to come right across here. Just want to use this little bit. A little bit of glue, and we're going to bring it to the top as well. Just like so. There we go. We're going to add the rest of this to the bottom portion, and we're just going to come up the side. You don't need to see all of it, and you know, this is just a little bit to trim. We're also going to add a floral down there. Just a little bit of a floral. And then I just want the hello, and I want it flat. The only thing I really wanted popped up was my floral. I'm going to come right over the leaf and just point out that blue a little bit. There we go. Done. Is it perfect? No. You know, I could have done 100 different things with it. And that's always my favorite about crafting is like, is it perfect so that it's on a magazine? No, I've never had anything that I've made on a magazine. Do I have fun with it? Yeah, that's always that point. These type of makes are completely different for me because I'm not always sure what I'm trying to accomplish is going to come across. So I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to pull this out of here. I'm going to give me one little strip. Just one. This is our very last one. Is this one strip or two? Feels like one. So we're just going to do one strip. We're going to bring it straight across the middle. Straight across the middle. There we go. We're going to trim that up. Okay. So I got that all trimmed up. We are going to put our pot on there. I think this one will be the cutest one, hopefully. Because it's like that jar on your desk that's got all of your favorite things in it. But you never quite use it. You know what I mean? You use the things in the jar or the pot, but you never quite use the pot. It's just something that lingers with you. So we're just going to lay this up here, kind of like it's on a desk. And I'm going to throw these flowers and these leaves in first. So we're just going to... Yeah, I think we just need a little bit of glue. We're going to add in all of our background stuff first. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue right here. We just don't want to see the stems. So I got to pick it up, make sure I can't see the stems. Yep, that's good. We've got a couple more over here that I didn't use on other cards. So I'm going to hang... I need to cut that bottom piece off a little bit. Please don't ever feel like you can't take apart something just because you got it and you feel like, oh, I can't possibly destroy this because otherwise it's not going to have the same meaning. Crafting is meant for the individual. So if you get a kit and it doesn't meet your individual needs, then why are you worried about what other people are thinking? You know, I'm going to pop this one up just because I want it to be a little bit more in the center. Just like kind of hanging off, like a little clip or something. It's just hanging off. There we go. And then inside of the thing, I'm just going to have this almost all the way put down. I mean, how many different times have you left? I'll put this one down on the ground like it fell out. I've always got little flowers falling out and stuff. So it's just amazing to me. There we go. Falling down. I didn't really get the vellum florals, but I'm going to, or leaves things, I'm going to put them in there anyway. Yeah, I like because they're see-through, so you can add them anywhere and they kind of pop. And if you round them a little bit, just if you take with your fingernail and round them a little bit, you'll get them to stick up when you add them in there. So just a little bit of glue. I'm going to put this one behind here. But we don't need it all the way down because we need height. And then we'll go with this one. I've done two on the same direction. Let's do another one that's in the opposite direction. So we're just going to put that one over here. And again, you know, just grab it and kind of bring them up. You got another one that's in that right direction? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to do the threes, my whole thing of threes. And then our friend, we're just going to add a little bit of glue to it. And kind of like you would have a cup. I have a cup that a friend of mine made. had made for me and sent to me. And I love that cup. I use it for everything. So that's our leftovers. Do we have a couple pieces left over? Yeah, we do, but that's okay. We have a total of 3 pieces left from the entire kit. So let me show you or from this design, I should say, not from the entire kit, from this design. So let me get everything else out of the way here. And then I'll bring in all of the cards. Now, I didn't put any bling on them. I will in the future. My shoulder's already killing me. So I'm just going to show you all 3 cards from this design. So that's my alternate cards. Like I said, I had to have 2 flowers on this. This one is such a cute slim line. I love the design. Oh, I put that one on Cricut. Still need to put this one on a card base. So let me grab my last card base. I must have missed one somewhere. Oh, I only made 2 of those. That's right. Let me grab my runner. I also didn't trim these down to be a little bit smaller so you could see the outline of the card and stuff. So really wasn't paying attention to that. So let me go ahead and stand this up and get my card base lined up. So there we go. So those are those 3. Okay. So I think they're a good alternative. Like I said, a really wow card, just a small card saying I miss you. Again, mini slim, but it's only 3 inches wide by 5.5 inches tall. So remember that. You don't have to make a slim line 6 by 3. So it's just one of those things. And then just that cup with the leftover pieces that we always have somewhere. You know, project that you made. It's sitting somewhere. I love that. So our next 2 cards are these ones where we've got a vertical and horizontal design. Same pieces. Same exact pieces. So I think those work. Picked up versus everything in the background kind of flat versus picked up. And I think that gives you a good idea of what you want to do with cards like that. And then, of course, our little mini 3x3s turned out so dang cute. And like I said, it's just a matter of what do you want to do. Very simple birthday card. A little bit better birthday card. Even better of a birthday card. You know, this uses 2 flowers, 2 flowers. So it's one of those things where you just kind of keep building up or taking away to create the things that you like the most. So that's it for today. I'm just going to lay them all out so you guys can take a look. And again, I'm sorry I didn't make an additional card for the second design. I was just like, I have no idea what to do with it. So I made 8 cards with the It's Your Day to Shine kit. So I certainly hope that you guys will check this out on Stampin'Up.com. And until then, go ahead and take it easy. I'll see you Thursday at 4 Mountain Daylight Time. And you guys can figure out the rest. But until then, take it easy. Have a wonderful day. And thank you so much for joining me. Until next time. Bye. Oh, I can't end it from here. Oh, goodness. Am I sure I want to end it? Yes, I want to end it.